Hey guys, what if I told you the rumors about the Batman are totally out of control? For real, ever since the news dropped that the movie went into pre-production, insiders started popping up like weeds, and suddenly a bunch of rumors about the Batman showed up. Today we're going to talk about those rumors, why right now they're not super reliable, and also an interesting idea that popped up from a hot director. No fluff, let's get into the latest DC news. I want to start with a question. Why are The Batman rumors spreading so fast? Simple. News broke that The Batman Part 2 went into pre-production, and people treated that like a green light to start making stuff up. Two names stood out this week, Jeff Sneider and Tom Smith. So let's break down what each one said and how reliable they are. Starting with Jeff Sneider. He posted on social that he got a very hot tip saying Robin is going to show up in The Batman Part 2. No details, just something with Robin. Could be Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, whoever. The issue here is the source. Jeff Sneider has a track record of misses, especially around Batman. When the Penguin series was about to drop, he was sure Batman would appear. And after the whole season, Batman didn't show up. So yeah, he's an insider who's kind of burned when it comes to DC stuff. Also, James Gunn, always active online, replied to this rumor and told people not to believe everything they see on the internet. He even called a lot of those rumors nonsense and said that, regarding the Batman Part 2, only 6 people right now know what's going on. So a leak is pretty unlikely since only a small trusted group has seen the script. To add, Apocalypse Horseman, an insider who usually gets DC stuff right, jumped in and said even he doesn't know what's happening with the Batman Part 2, and that he's skeptical of Jeff Sneider because of his past mistakes. So yeah, right now the Robin rumor from Jeff is basically unlikely to happen. That said, let's talk about the idea behind the rumor, because the possibility itself sparks a lot of debate. Honestly, I'm skeptical Robin will show up in Matt Reeves' universe as a classic sidekick. I think Robin is more likely to be part of the James Gunn DCU. In Brave and the Bold, we'll have Damian Wayne and probably other Bat family members, Nightwing, Red Hood, Batgirl, etc. So it makes sense to think Robin and the rest of the Bat family are more guaranteed in James Gunn's DCU, while Matt Reeves' world will probably stay focused on Batman and the relationships inside that world without necessarily adding another vigilante hero in the usual way. Now don't get me wrong, you can put Robin in Matt Reeves' universe. I disagree with people who say it's totally implausible for Reeves' grounded tone. The choice is up to Matt Reeves and how he wants to build his world. You could have Mr. Freeze, Man-Bat, Robin. The Arkham games show a more realistic Batman can still embrace fantastical elements if it's well written. The real question is whether Reeves will want that. If he doesn't, that's fine. He can develop his universe the way he wants. One big point, the Batman Part 1 pulled a lot from The Long Halloween. The follow-up to that comic is Dark Victory, which includes Robin's origin, Dick Grayson. Dark Victory is kind of a Year 3 Batman story, which lines up with Reeves' Batman. So introducing young Dick Grayson and exploring how Bruce and the kid affect each other would fit really well. That could be an excellent arc. But with James Gunn dismissing the rumor, it was a coat splash for folks who wanted to see Robin with Robert Pattinson's Batman. Still, deep down, I'm rooting to see Robin. If Matt Reeves thinks Robin is too much for his universe, there are alternatives. Focus on Bruce's relationship with another character, and don't necessarily show Robin in full vigilante mode. For example, end the movie with the kid making a vow with Batman, hinting at the dynamic duo, without showing the costume. That'd be a powerful finish, especially if the Batman 2 were the last movie in that arc. So yeah, the idea of Robin in that world is cool, but again, the source of that rumor is shaky. Now the second rumor, Tom Smith said Harvey Dent, not yet Two-Face, will become Gotham's district attorney after Gil Colson dies. Unlike Jeff Sneider's claim, James Gunn didn't publicly comment on this one, so it hasn't been ruled out. I like that possibility. After Coulson's death, it makes sense to have a new DA, and Wick's name is more obvious in the comics than Harvey Dent. Putting Harvey and as DA in the movie doesn't mean he becomes Two-Face right away, and that's good. You can introduce the character as a DA and later deliver his transformation in a spin-off. Imagine an 8-episode HBO-level series following Dent working the mob cases, crossing paths with Penguin, and eventually falling into the arc that turns him into Two-Face. That could even top the Harvey Dent from The Dark Knight depending on how it's handled. Also, the character could be super interesting for Matt Reeves, not just as a villain, but because of his duality, trauma, and moral doubt. That's what makes Harvey a fascinating figure. Just remember, this rumor comes from a source with low credibility, so odds are lower, but to me, it has wild potential. So among these rumors, which one would you want more, Robin in the Batman Part 2 or Two-Face? Drop a comment below. Moving on to another Batman-related update. This one isn't a rumor, it's an intriguing lead. Zach Cregger, director of Weapons, the film that's getting a lot of praise, some are calling it the horror movie of the decade, said in interviews he wrote a script for DC. The idea would be a Gotham movie told from the point of view of a henchman for Joker and Harley Quinn. A loser henchman who somehow manages to incapacitate Batman. As soon as you said that, people immediately thought of the classic Batman animated series episode, The Man Who Killed Batman, written by Paul Dini. An absolute 10 out of 10 episode, mostly thanks to Joker's lines. Zach also confirmed Batman would appear in the film. You can't do that story without Batman, right? I think the premise is really solid. Turning that 20-minute animated episode into a 2-hour movie is risky. I'm not sure if it sustains 2 hours, but the quiet idea is great. You'd have Batman, Joker, and Harley on screen, and possibly their DCU debuts. Zach has the script as a pitch to James Gunn, but he hasn't officially presented anything yet. And even if he does and Gunn likes it, Zach's busy. He's slated to do the Resident Evil movie first. So for now, it's just an idea, nothing confirmed. Another thing that stands out. Zach is hot right now thanks to Weapons. If I were James Gunn, I'd ask to see the script, and if it's good, greenlight it. This type of film probably doesn't need a giant budget, not $100 million thing, and with Batman, Joker, and Harley attached, it could definitely make its money back. There's risk, always, after all the lead is a henchman, but I see both creative and box office potential. The funny part is, early leaks said it would be a Joker and Harley movie, but as more info came out and reporters kept asking Zach about his project, the henchman angle surfaced. It's risky, but like I said, a smaller film that could still sell a lot of Gotham in the DCU. Oh, just to be clear about what I meant earlier about first appearances in the DCU, I was referring to Joker and Harley Quinn. If this henchman movie actually goes ahead, James Gunn approves the script, and they start production, say 2 or 3 years from now, then yeah, I think it could be a good way to introduce both Harley Quinn and Joker to the DCU, without necessarily having to cover their origins. If you're gonna tell the origin with the acid bath and everything, and Harley going into Arkham Asylum to free Joker for the first time, that could be a flashback, or just a throwaway reference. It wouldn't need to be their origin as their first appearance in this universe, especially since we don't know if Margot Robbie stays on as Harley Quinn or not. That's still up in the air. As for Batman, his first appearance should be saved for Brave and the Bold, so it introduces both Batman and his Bat family and gets that whole corner of the DCU well established. So now I want to hear from you. You want this henchman movie? Think the idea works? Write your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to leave your Bat like on the video, your Bat subscription to the channel, and hit the Bat bell so you don't miss any Batman news and stay on top of everything going on in DC. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Peace out.